Number 6, only make judgments about things you are called to judge, such as words and actions. As I mentioned earlier, we're called to judge righteous judgment. There are righteous judgments we are called and authorized to make in life when we see a person acting, speaking in a way that is contrary to biblical principles. There are many other areas that it is not appropriate to judge. Namely, we're never to judge the secret, unseen things of the heart when there's no clear evidence to support such a judgment. The reason is because in order to assess the heart, we must be able to see the heart. Generally, we don't have the ability to do that. We're only called to use our minds and critical thinking to make assessments about the known, never the unknown. 1 Corinthians 4:5, Paul forbids Christians from judging the hidden things, such as the intents of the heart. Such things are to be judged by God alone, who will one day bring to light the hidden things of the heart. As Paul says, therefore, do not pronounce judgment before the time, before the Lord comes, who will bring to light the things now hidden in darkness, and will disclose the purposes of the heart. That each one will receive his commendation from God. Clearly, Paul is teaching that we must refrain from trying to assess the hidden motives of the heart. Yet this is something Christians disobey quite often. Just look in the comments section of YouTube videos of any controversial issue. You can often see some Christians making all sorts of unkind accusations of another believer, calling him prideful, arrogant, blind, liar, deceiver, maybe even an agent of the devil, just because they might believe or teach something that they might disagree with. What they are doing is judging the heart. Unless they have some clear evidence for such judgments, which from my experience they typically don't, is a form of judgment that is sinful and forbidden by God because it is entailing the judgment of secret things. Instead of trying to attribute a corrupt motive to people, it's more in harmony with Christ-like love to think the best of them, even as you would want someone to think the best of you. For example, assume you encounter someone who you believe has corrupt beliefs on a particular issue or doctrine, and they are not being persuaded by your arguments. It might be tempting to accuse them of pride or arrogance, or being obstinate because they don't see things your way. However, the more loving approach is to try and refrain from making such accusations or personal remarks like that, and to think the best of them. Namely, consider the fact that the person may simply be lacking in maturity and knowledge, or is just a little confused. Can really help to think about your own spiritual walk and most likely how you yourself held to incorrect beliefs and ideas at one time. I know myself, when I was a younger Christian, I held to all sorts of flawed beliefs that I would argue for. It wasn't because I was prideful or arrogant, it was just lacking in knowledge and understanding of something.